You're listening to episode number 28 of the Indie Film Tribe podcast with me, your host, Angela Matamocha. Welcome. Hi, good people. Hi. Angela Matamocha here. Thank you so much for joining me today. Quick heads up, this is going to be a super duper quick episode. In honor of July the 4th, I didn't want to actually put out an episode this week, but I did definitely just want to check in. And my reasoning for that, I'm really excited about the next four episodes we have coming up. So I know some people are still on a holiday mode, so I just wanted to be sure that no one missed the upcoming episodes because we are shifting our gears once again. And what is coming up is just, gosh, it's so exciting and kind of not exciting. So here's what I mean by that. In this world of, independent filmmaking, what excites most of us is the actualization of it, actually doing it, casting, writing, being on set, shooting, post-production, editing, all that's the fun stuff. That's the stuff that we live for, right? Here's the thing though, once that happens, that's a very clear route. This is what you do to write, this is what you to do once you're on set, this is what you do to budget, blah, blah, blah. After the film is finished, this becomes a very interesting area. Yeah, some of us get distribution, some of us go on to film festivals, some of us, do have a theatrical release. It's very different what happens with independent films. So, what I thought was interesting to look at is to look at how we as independent filmmakers fit into the whole of the system of Hollywood, and not just Hollywood per se, but also internationally, right? And I think it's very valuable, not just for filmmakers, but even as actors and screenwriters, to really understand the whole business of it, to really get a grip of what this looks like. So it gives us some more knowledge and some clarity of where we fit into this puzzle. So, who we're going to be speaking with next, I have two different ladies coming on. Both of them are producers, and both of them have a very different kind of point of view than as many of us do, us meaning the creatives, right? I have someone that's been working in sales for the last, gosh, 10, 15 years. So she has a lot to offer as far as the whole view of what a buyer looks for, what sales agents do, how they do it, how they make money, how production companies make money, and where we can fit into this. I have another producer coming on that's also going to be speaking about buyers in foreign markets, but also packaging, how to put a film together. Now, mind you, she is working with some of the bigger budgets, 8 million, which is as you know, still an independent film, but 8 million, 10 million, 80 million, I believe, is one of her budgets for an upcoming project. Regardless, I think it's very important for us to understand the process some producers go through in order to package the film, and what packaging means as far as cast, as far as talent, far as financing. How do you get an investor involved? What do you need when you go to a bank to ask a loan? Again, these are not very sexy things, but I think these are important things for us to look at. And especially is if we on our journey want to start making bigger and bigger movies. I'll tell you, I love making small movies. I love the whole idea of it. I love the intimacy of it. But I know, and I'm sure many of you can relate to this too, some of your stories you want to have a bigger budget. Some of the stories that you want to tell need, very specific locations that you can't get for free, need some special effects that are really, really costly. Maybe they need a certain soundtrack or certain songs that, again, are going to cost. So eventually, I know for myself, I do want to continue to do films, but I want to do bigger films in the future. And I want to know and understand what that looks like and what are different ways that I can actually go after financing. What are ways that I can go to, a sales agent and have an educated conversation and know what I'm talking about and know what I'm asking for. I want to know what it means when a distributor gives me a certain kind of deal. And I've said in previous episodes, I'm still learning a lot as well. So as I learn, I am obviously sharing everything that I'm learning with you. Things I don't know, I just love, love, love bringing on guests that can really shine a light on these issues, not issues, but elements of the filmmaking process that I know very little about, or that people don't really like to talk about because, as I said, these are parts of filmmaking that are not so sexy for the majority of us. I'd rather just focus all my energy and all my attention on writing, on directing, on being on set, on just focusing on story. But I know for me at this stage of my career, it's also important that I understand a little bit, well, not even a little bit, but a lot of it, about distribution. And more as I'm doing my research, and how to get my own film out there, I'm also recognizing that I need to learn how to be a very good marketer. And I think eventually we're all going to need to be able to do that, because the truth of the matter is, the middleman is appearing less and less. We're actually able to put our content out into the world, but as you know, if nobody knows that it's out there, it's not going to be seen. And I'm learning more and more just how important marketing is. Anyway, I kind of went off a little tangent there. That wasn't the point of this. The point is just to sort of give you a heads up about the next couple of episodes, that we are going to be looking at, and diving deep into two different producers and how they approach packaging, how they approach getting financing, how they approach, different bank loans. Again, not fun stuff, but I honestly, I just know for me, just interviewing these ladies, the more I hear about it, the more it seems doable. The more I understand it and I'm able to begin to connect the dots, then I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. So a buyer needs this, a sales agent needs this. This is a business. How can I make my film, my passion project, whatever it is, to fit into this business, with the whole goal, for me anyway, is to find a way to create a film that does have a social relevance, that does matter, in some way or another. How do I make that film and put it out into the world and make enough money from that film so that I can go make another film? That's what businesses do, right? That's what you do with a product. You sell a product, with that revenue, you go and create something else. I think that's a business model. Again, this is something that I'm learning about, and again, really excited to bring up these next few episodes. So for today, that was it. I just kind of wanted to say hi. I hope you had an amazing long holiday weekend. I realize that a lot of people might not be listening to this episode today because of the weekend, but I definitely did just want to check in and let you know what's coming up, and also just put a few thoughts about our last few episodes. Gosh, having Justin Giddings on and talk about how to create a Kickstarter campaign, and what he taught us also can be used for an Indiegogo campaign, a Seed and Spark campaign. But I thought that was very interesting. And another thing, in just listening to our conversation and talking to him, again, this recognition of like, wow, marketing is really important, not just once your film is complete, but if you're going to go the fundraising route, to get eyes on your Kickstarter page. That is such a huge, huge thing. Oh my gosh. Oh, speaking of which, one of our guest, Lady Michelle Muldoon, she was the one that spoke about the craft of screenwriting, and she also spoke about the community, the value of community in screenwriting. She is a writer director herself, obviously, and she is just, gosh, I don't even know if it's been a week. launched an Indiegogo campaign for a Last Stand to Nowhere. So please check that out. Go to Indiegogo, look at Last Stand to Nowhere. That is her Indiegogo campaign. And had I kind of known that she was about to launch that, I would have had her maybe connect with Justin. But hopefully, she did listen to that episode. Oh, excuse me, my mouth is really dry today. Last Stand to Nowhere. And they are doing fantastic. I don't even think they're a week up yet. And one of the things that I discussed with Justin was the importance of having, a pretty good dent in your fundraising campaign within the first week, and Last Stand to Nowhere does. So that really excites me. As of today, they have 47 backers and they still have 25 days left. So they're looking to raise just over 12,000, and they're halfway there. They're at 6,025 and they're looking to raise 12,500. So they still have 25 days left. So gosh, congratulations already. This is super exciting to see. I'm just so excited about this. So real quick, Last Stand to Nowhere. This is a short film, is an all-female reimagining of the gunfight at the OK Corral. So it's an all-female gunfight. Wow, at the OK Corral. So super excited for Michelle Muldoon. If you guys want to have a look at it, please, visit Indiegogo. The film is Last Stand to Nowhere, and as of the release of this episode, it's probably going to be 23 days left on that campaign. So there's that's plenty of time still to keep chugging along. So that is freaking awesome. So okay, as I record these episodes, as I learn, it's honestly, it is that saying, the more you know, the more you realize you need to know, right? So, literally, with each episode, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to learn more about this. Oh my gosh, I need to learn more about this. And I tell you, I personally love learning, but I'm definitely realizing, gosh, okay, I have all these things to learn. I need to create a system, as we do when we're filmmaking, when we're in the pre production phase, when we're planning. I need to create a plan for myself of when to learn these different tools. There's all these amazing courses online that we can learn. I don't know. I'm just in a stage of just being very excited about learning. And I guess this is another thing that I love about being an independent filmmaker, because in my case, in anyway, so much of this I have to do on my own, and there's so much that I don't know. So it forces me to learn. It forces me to start thinking about marketing. It forces me to start thinking about distribution. Forces me to start thinking about messaging and images and all this kind of stuff, that I never really thought I would even be interested in learning. Anyway, I hope that you are getting value from this Indie Film Tribe podcast. I hope you're enjoying our guest. And please, don't hesitate to reach out to me, indiefilmtribe@gmail.com, if there is something that you want to learn more about, is if there's a specific type of guest that you haven't heard about yet. Or heard from yet that you want to. I know we've talked a lot about screenwriting, and I think that's been the majority of our episodes that have had the biggest focus. But that's where this all starts, right? That's where it all starts. It's with the screenwriter, and of course, we've definitely spoken with indie filmmakers that are directors and producers and screenwriters and actors. So that's really exciting. And I loved having our conversation with Jason Brubaker at Distribber, because as you guys know, if you listen to that episode, he really walked us through the whole process of independent self distribution and what that looks like, and how we can actually get our projects on all these platforms and what we need to think about. So I thought that was very eye opening and very inspiring too. Again, the more I learn, the more I recognize, the more I need to learn, but also the more inspired I get and empowered I feel. But there is so much to learn, and there are so many tools out there. And I feel like almost every day there's something, new to learn, a new tool, a new platform, a new way. It's a good time, good people. It's a good time. So, yeah, make your projects, keep shining, and thank you so much for listening to Indie Film Tribe. And again, if you have any questions or want me to bring on someone specific, please let me know. Indiefilmtribe@gmail.com. And if you are in the mood and it resonates with you, please leave a review. Let me know what you think about the show. You can definitely do that on iTunes. And yeah, thank you so much for listening and really excited about the next couple episodes. Keep shining, good people. Keep shining. Until next time, bye.